are you a flat earther, or you just have questions? Or just listening, or... Anyway, welcome. If you've got any questions about the flat earth, just sing out, let us know.
Yeah, I do have one question.
Oh, you're still there. Yeah, shoot.
I was wondering, what purpose would I don't, I'm assuming you would believe that, the elites of society, the global elites or whatever, are hiding the fact that the earth is flat and pretending that it's round or something, right? But what would the purpose be? Why would they? What do they gain from it?
Don't know.
You don't know. Oh.
But you can ask yourself that question: if Earth was flat, and why would they lie? There's a number of reasons you can imagine. Just power and control, manipulation.
Power or control would they gain?
Yeah. By telling everyone what their cosmology is, what their reality is, and manipulating them around that. For instance, you could say there's a meteor headed towards Earth that's going to destroy everybody.
No, I have a much more believable one.
But
I have a much more believable one. What about outside of the ice wall? There are much more valuable resources that are I don't know, harder than diamond or more conductive than gold, or that's a much better explanation.
It's raining donuts over the ice wall. No, I don't know, dude. No idea if there's an ice wall or if it's just, the end of the container, because the container that holds the gas pressure would need to meet the Earth at some point. You would think. So it could just be a...
Wait, what do you mean?
And it could be a mountain range.
Oh, you mean because...
Could be mountains, could be...
When you say end of the container, is that in regards to the whole...
So gas pressure needs a container, yeah.
The inside of the container thing? Okay.
Thermodynamics and all that. Yeah, it needs to be a container to hold the gas. Or else all the gas would just fill the space. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a complete idiot. I would assume there's a pretty reasonable explanation that I don't know as to why gas doesn't actually need to be held within some kind of solid thing, but I don't know.
The given explanation is gravity, isn't it? That's the given explanation.
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah. That's the given explanation as to why the air doesn't expand beyond Earth, doesn't float away into space. It's because gravity's holding that air down.
Yeah.
Can you think of any examples you've seen in real life where gravity doesn't hold the air down, though?
What, like gases that are lighter than gases that are lighter than whatever the...
Or can you have gas without a container? Can you have a gas pressure reading without any containment?
I don't know, dude.
So you can't, because the gas just escape everywhere.
Hang on. I didn't come here to disprove flat Earth to you guys. I just came here for a chat.
Okay, yeah. Oh, we're chatting, so. But, I mean, you asked, so I'm just telling you.
I'm not coming in here going globe Earth. Yeah, I'm just.
No, fair enough. We do get that.
Even though I
So
don't
we don't-
believe
we
in
don't-
flat Earth, but I'm
So we don't.
definitely
Go
not
on.
smart enough to have an argument about it.
Well, it's not. Don't say that about yourself. I'm sure you're not. Sure, you're very intelligent. But yeah, there's a lot of things that we don't know. Like, is there an ice wall? Is there land behind the ice wall? Where's the dome? Where's the container? How high is it? It's a lot of stuff we just don't know. What are the stars? Why does the sun move around? Really, over here, we really don't know because we don't have any evidence for it. We don't have any hard evidence. We can't test
Is
it
it
for ourselves.
is there anybody in the flat Earth community that claims that they've been to the ice wall or like
Well, no.
outside of?
That's insane, bro. No. There's
How
no
come nobody even,
superhero
like-
flat earther who's been there. No.
How many flat earthers are there in the world? There must
10%, roughly 10% of the population is flat Earth.
And what percentage of those are people who have access to, or do you think people who have access to some kind of transportation that could possibly get them to the ice wall, even if they might be stopped, right? Like, surely someone could have made it out there and then come back. I mean, like, hey guys, I made it out there, and there's an ice wall.
Don't know, dude. No idea. Never heard anyone doing it. No. I mean, I mentioned the governments would be able. They would be the only ones who would be able to do it because they've got all the money and equipment to do it. The average dude doesn't have enough money and equipment to go sailing across the planet, the Earth, to find an ice wall. Well, you didn't find the ice wall. It comes back and says there's no ice wall. It's stupid. But no, we don't know, dude. You can't go anywhere without, I mean, all countries are protected. You can't go to Antarctica on your own.
Yeah.
You're going to go into waters of another country, and they're going to, pick you up. Fuck, dude. Unless I was fucking Batman, all right, you're not finding the edge, or the wall, or nothing.
What do you think the Earth is like sitting on? What is like?
No
what's
idea, man.
outside of it?
No idea. How would I know? No idea, bro. Wouldn't know
Are
the
there
fuck it
any
is. But I do know it's stationary. The Earth is stationary. It's
like
definitely
flat
not.
Earth physicists or astronomers or whatever that have some kind of like theory for how a flat Earth system would be
Yeah.
placed in the universe outside of it?
Oh, yeah, there's a few books about it, and there's static astronomy, and there's some of the early guys in the 1800s, wrote books about the flat Earth and the celestials and that sort of thing. So there are some writings and stuff about it, about what the stars do over a flat plane. But again, how the hell will we know? We can't test them scientifically. We have no idea how far away they are or what even they are.
I've heard a lot of people in regards to like what's outside of the Earth. I've had a lot of people who link flat Earth to creationism. Do you think creationism is necessary for flat Earth, or do you think the Earth can be flat without God or Christianity or Catholicism or any kind of creationist God?
Yeah, well, I think the flat Earth proves the Bible is correct. It's not that the Bible proves Earth's flat. We've got Earth. We've had a lot of navigation and observations.
I am curious.
Oh wait, wow!
We know that it's flat.
The Earth being flat proves the Bible.
It proves the Bible is correct. Yes.
So I'm curious if we didn't have like
yeah, there's a conversation already happening. Supreme Potato, just a second.
No, I'm not asking about the Bible.
Yeah, you interrupted the conversation already happening. So just a second.
It's okay. I don't mind.
No, about the flat Earth in the Bible.
Yeah, you're interrupting Starlight in the conversation already happening, sir.
I don't mind if that guy jumps in. You can say something.
Okay, so yeah, as I just said to the other guy, we don't say that the Bible proves flat Earth. It's the other way around. That flat Earth proves that the Bible is correct in regards to containment being stationary and flat. But that's it. There are atheists who become flat earthers and then say, well, I think there must be I think there's a creator now. they're not religious. They don't go into any religion, but they just go from that being I don't believe in God to now I do believe in a creator of some kind.
Yeah.
Most of our guys are just
Can I ask
agnostic. I
something?
think they're kind
So
of
you're
agnostic.
so you would you so in regards to flat Earth proving the Bible is true, would you say
Yeah.
you start at a position of
Measuring the Earth,
discovering
getting a
that? Well, I
measurement,
mean,
getting a measurement of the Earth. Yeah.
after you've found out that the Earth is flat, would you say you start from a position of the Earth being flat and then work your way to the Bible being true, or are the two hand in hand in some way? If it's the former, how do you know that the flat Earth proves the Bible and not any other religious scripture?
Well, yeah, I've forgotten it. The Muslim book, Quran, says the Earth's
The
flat.
Quran, yeah.
So the Quran, and the Judeo-Christian Bible says Earth's flat. And you've got all the
So it
other
could be-
cosmologies that also depict Earth as being flat. Native American cosmology, all these
Oh, I
ancient
see.
dudes. Yeah, they're all models of flat.
Oh, okay. So you don't believe in the Christian Bible, then you believe in
Why would you say that, dude? You're starting to fucking piss me off. Why would you think you fuckwit? You're really pissing me off, bro. I just dropped the Bible, all right? You fucking idiot. What did I say that suggested I'm not a Christian, you moron?
That went from like 1 to 10 pretty quick.
Yeah, it did. Because you're not listening and you're asking dumbass questions. I already said
So,
did I say that the flat Earth proves the Bible is correct? The Bible correct?
yeah.
Don't believe the Bible, do you? You've been a fuckwit, all right? Don't do that.
So I was asking because you were saying you were mentioning other religions that also account for a flat Earth, or that also suggest a flat Earth. So I was asking, do you believe that the flat Earth necessarily proves the Christian Bible, or do you believe that all religions that say a flat Earth could be true?
It proves the Bible is correct in Genesis, in the specifics of the Earth, describing the Earth, not the whole thing. I'm already a Bible believer before I was a flat earther, so I already had complete faith in the Bible, but was kind of diverted away from taking Genesis literally.
Do you think being religious?
So other things prove the Bible, but just the fact that Earth is measured flat, there's no Coriolis effect, and there's no movement, and we need gas pressure would prove that bit of the Bible is correct in describing the Earth. That's it. Doesn't prove the whole Bible. It's just that bit of creation that it substantiates. Yeah.
Do you think being religious to start with helped you find the truth of the flat Earth, or
no? Do
you think you would have found that if you weren't religious?
You have to be really open-minded about things.
Yeah.
So I'm really open-minded. Religious people, not necessarily open-minded, they can be closed-minded. People who aren't religious can be very open-minded. But yeah, you've got to be open-minded. You've got to be willing to be open to things and not rigidly, stonewalled into a belief that you don't really can prove. I hope that answers your question. But I know the you Globers come in, you're picking on us, you're picking and picking to find out that, you have to be a Christian, you have to be a Christian to be a flat earther, or flat earthers are Christian. It's a religious cult. I know that's where you're going.
No, I'm not picking on you.
No, you're just saying, yeah, you're all Christians, aren't you? You got to be a Christian. That's where you're coming from. But it's not true, dude. It's not true. There's people here are the atheists, Muslims, pagans.
I was just wondering because I've heard flat earthers think the Christian Bible before, so I was wondering what your view on that was. That's all. I promise I'm not picking at you at all.
No, a lot of people became Christians after discovering Earth was flat. When they realized Earth was flat, they went to the Bible because there's a lot of atheists around, right? Before the flat Earth broke in 2015, atheists ruled YouTube, and then they would use flat Earth to debunk Christians. I was like, your Bible says Earth's flat, and they'd use that to embarrass Christians and turn it against them. But then when flat Earth came out, they went, holy shit, and they went straight to the Bible and they started reading, and they just kept reading, and they became Christians and they started going to church. And the preachers called it the flood. 2015, 2016, the preachers in all the churches were describing it as the flood. They called it the flood. So the numbers went up really high, and there's a lot of people coming in asking about Genesis and creation. It's fact.
Okay, I have a different question. How far down do you think the Earth goes? Like,
no
if you
idea,
were
bro.
to
Eight miles.
dig in.
We get 8 miles. That's it. So we've dug out
It might be more than 8 miles because people dug
it's 8
other than
miles,
that, right?
No, 8 miles.
12 kilometers.
Check it out.
What's the longest tunnel dug so far? It's huge, isn't it?
Tunnel? Well, you got the Euro tunnel, you got the English Channel tunnel. Got the other tunnel.
No, I mean straight down. There's a tunnel straight down that's like really fucking long. Hold on.
No, it's 8 miles. Super deep borehole in Russia. It's 8 miles. That's it. Couldn't get any further. Anyway, I'm in a bad mood. My football team lost, so. Anyway, sorry about to correct shit. I always get touchy about religion, about Christian stuff. I always. But, sorry.
If you dug and dug and dug and dug and you got through the flat Earth and got out the other side, what do you think? Would you fall? Or is there or would you be attracted to the other side?
I have no idea. For some reason, I'm thinking about that bit in Star Wars where Luke Skywalker just jumps down that hole, and he ends up like he just falls in the hole of the bottom. He kind of gets sucked into a side tube and all that, and he ends up at the bottom of the ship kind of thing. But that's kind of, who knows, bro? Who knows? But it's 8 miles is it. It's as far as we can go. Probably won't be able to go further than that. It's not very far, is it?
No.
I know.
I cycle further than that to work every day.
Yeah, it's not far at all. So, but when they got to the bottom, when they got to 8 miles, the drill was starting to like it chewed up. They couldn't drill any further. It said it was liquid diamond or something.
Is it density or? Oh, okay.
They just said it was like liquid diamond. It's really thick stuff that just ripped up the drill bits. Anyway. But you can go to this 24/7 Flat Earth home server, and we've got resources in there. Absolutely tons and tons and tons of videos, all alphabetized in terms of the different subjects and stuff. There's a good resource. Go there and there's a lot of good stuff there. If you're interested, if you're curious about, I don't know if they have ice wall videos or what's under the earth videos, but they have basically everything about the flat Earth. So. But yeah, if you've got any other questions, man, you can just hang around, you can listen. People come in wanting to debate. You've got people wanting to chat.
Do you think there's more than one flat Earth? Like if let's go with the ice wall idea, right? So there's we live on a flat Earth, and then around us is like a circle of ice. It's like really tall all around us, and then the multiverse. Imagine that, but instead of a multiple universes, just multiple ice wall circles.
Is that map you're talking about where it's got all the circles and there's all these countries outside of it? That's a really interesting map. Yeah, it's kind of cool to look at and speculate on. But man, how will we know? There's no way. It'd have to be Batman in the Batplane and fly there.
You could go for a really long swim.
There's no way to do it, bro. It's impossible.
Sounds wild.
Or trillionaire superhero, you might be able to get there, but
yeah, sounds crazy.
There's no dude.
So when people that say individual people that aren't part of a corporation or anything, just like individual people that have decided to fly around the world, do you and they say that they've been they've flown around the world and not seen ice wall or anything, you don't believe them, do you? If somebody's traveled across the whole world,
and they don't did that.
No, I just mean a lot of people have, haven't they?
I don't think so. You have to have a big giant fuel tank, don't you think?
I mean, some people cycle across the world. You don't have to have a fuel tank. You just got to spend a long time doing it. It just takes a long time.
So where do you stop in the middle of the ocean to get fuel?
I don't know, a boat. You can use a boat. I don't know, dude.
No, you can give it a try, see what happens. But I don't think you'll get very far.
People that say they have. I'm saying, do you not?
I don't know of anybody that says they have.
Yeah. Neither do I, to be honest. I mean, I know, like sailing across the world is something that people have done before. I don't know. I don't know if those people have also sailed across where you would assume the ice wall to be.
Those people also sail close to land. So if you look at all of the sailing that's going on right now, it's all near land. People don't want to go off in one direction and not know where they're going, and then have nowhere to get anything. Just stuck in the middle of water, and they run out of stuff. So what do? Call somebody?
Yeah.
So great ideas, but in reality, you can't really do stuff like that. So nothing really you can do about it.
Starlight, you're hot micing there.
Sorry?
Can you go on mute if you're not talking?
What's up?
You're hot micing. He said go on
You're
mute
hot
if you're not talking.
What's hot micing?
You're making noise when your microphone's open. You're making noise.
Oh, my bad. Okay, well, I'm gonna go play some Halo.
Okay, bye.
Fun guys, stuff.
No worries. No worries. Thanks for coming in. Halo.
It's Dread.
Yeah, is that Dredd? Judge Dredd?
Good movie.
I wonder if people that come in here like that are just they don't want to have the deafen on, but they're listening still on YouTube or something. I wonder.
They probably do that, but they want to have a time to come in whenever they're available, just to show that their presence is here still. Who knows? We got Yidolf's top guy taking a flight, saying zero curve in the text channel. Yidolf, what up, man? I think you're on a plane right now. Is that right? You're on a plane flight? Yeah, we had a lengthy conversation one night that he was in here.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Yeah, and we're just walking through all the talking points, and it was kind of like really opening his eyes to, like, you know, a way that he can talk about flat Earth with his friends and family and such. And I was telling him, dude, how much time do you have? Because we're gonna go through them, And after we were done discussing, he's like, dude, I got a lot of ways now I can talk to people about the flat earth. So it kind of helped the interactions in here for him to build up himself and how to talk to people about it.
So, if you can hear me, I'm looking out this window. It's not curved.
Yeah, you're coming in a bit low and muffled, a little bit garbled. But I think I heard you say something that it's not curved, and I saw you put the images up that you took from an airplane window. Is that right?
Yep.
What do you think about the flat earth, man, from an airplane window? That is crazy. Did you guys click on the images he posted up?
Yeah, I was looking at the video. That's quite incredible. I mean, obviously he's looking south. That's quite a distance. I mean, think about how far away that is, that horizon we're seeing. Hundreds of miles.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask that one guy was, how far away was the horizon? That guy from earlier.
You mean the guy talking about the lasers?
Oh, no, the plane window guy.
Oh, okay. Must have been before I came on.
Yeah, there was no way for him to determine anything that he was making a claim to, Duncan. I think that's the point that I was making from. How did you determine that it was curvature that you saw? I don't know if you noticed the struggle that he had when I was telling him that. There was no way that he could. He just made the claim again. I think he made it 3 times, to be honest.
No, I realized that. I wanted to kind of jump in and ask him specific questions to see why he thought that. So that was going to be one of my questions. But no, I got what you're doing. Everybody got what you're doing. Point well made, for sure.
Bro, they struggle. It's something that when I expose them that way, they're making a lot of claims and they have a lot of confidence. But when it comes right down to it, they're going to realize it's a belief. That's all it is. All it ever is just a belief.
It's like a cult because you're trained from birth to believe this crap.
Absolutely. That's what I call it. I call it a cult. That's what I use. It's a globe cult, man. Or it could be more akin to a sun worshipping cult because they put the sun in the center. It's in the center of the solar system. So
Helios.
They're not
that's a god.
Yeah, they're not saying they're worshiping the sun per se, but they are putting it in the center of their existence, which would be the solar system and such. What's weird too is that since we've been talking about the sun this morning, is there any way that they determined that specific idea that the sun's in the center? How do you guys know that they've determined that in any way? In their conversations, have you heard anybody show validation for a solar system?
Well, it's based off the Keplerian model, right?
Yeah, but how did Kepler determine it?
Oh, well, first he assumed Earth was a globe. Then he assumed Earth was the same size as Venus, and Venus was also a globe. Then he used that to scale the sizes and distances, I think.
Yeah, a lot of this is built off of that, but the part that gets me is why do they think that we're going around the sun if the sun is moving across the sky?
Yeah, you would have thought from observation it would have been like a Polaris system.
Yeah, go ahead, Casey. What'd you say?
Yeah, you would have thought from observation they would have made it a Polaris system instead of a solar system.
Yeah, everything's going around Polaris. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good question. Why do they make it solar rather than something else from observation?
I mean, it's valid to ask that question, and it's also why would we even go to that conclusion if what we see is the sun moving across the sky? I mean, just going based off of observations, I don't see anything going around the sun. That's just not what we see. I don't know. There's been a lot of people that made these ideas of like why they think that the cosmos is a particular way, or the gravity theory. There's people just believing things, man. There's no way to validate any of the things that they say. I think to me that was the most important part, is like understanding why. Why would you say that's the case? Always comes back to belief. That's why I say it's not a debate, man. It's this what we do in here. It's not a debate. Hey, Sonny, how long have you been a sailor? You know, just navigating the waters. You might be AFK.
Well, it's when you mentioned earlier that the Polaris should be the center. It actually is the center in celestial navigation.
You know what's weird is that you can even construct a kind of like a derivative argument from this. You know, because a cosmology that would make observations and see that, you could also propose that, but then you would have the idea that, well, they see different rotations in the south, so then you'd have to contend with that as well. So that'd be another thing to think about. But it would be based off observations, what you could see, because we don't see things going around the sun. That's the main point that we're saying. Yeah, in actual fact, you see the sun going around us. So there's more evidence of that. Hey, we have somebody new that just joined the panel. I don't know how to say your name. It looks like you just have 2 letters. EL. Welcome to the panel. Yeah, if you're there, welcome to the room too. You have any questions? You want to show how the Earth is a globe by any evidence that you can bring forward? Or do you want us just tell you how the Earth is flat by showing how water itself and the physics of it determine that the Earth is a horizontal plane? Oh, it's up to you. You can jump in anytime you want. I heard of many conversations over the years of how people make their special pleadings and their excuses and their analogies that don't even comport over to the Earth in any way. Well, see, it's like a car going really smooth on a road, or it's like a train going really smooth on some tracks. That's how come you don't feel motion. They're apologists, right, as to why we don't notice the Earth as a globe. Well, you don't really see curve. You see the effects of curve. It's like, what do you mean you don't see curve? Like, wouldn't you notice curve if you see the effects of curve? Like that, those two go hand in hand. How don't they? Like, how is it where you don't see the curve, but you see the effects of the curve? That doesn't make any sense. Have you guys ever heard that? You don't see curve, you see the effects of curve.
Yeah, that's what they say because they admit that you can't see the geometric horizon. So they'll say that, but then they say that the horizon is an effect of Earth curve.
Correct. And we have Mr. EL saying that it makes perfect sense. So go ahead, Mr. EL. Tell us how that makes perfect sense.
Your eye, your retina, the place where you see things, is limited compared to the other object you're trying to observe, which is a horizon. So you'll never be able to conceive of it truly. That's the ratios. It's literally the inverse. However, you can see effects of it. Yeah.
So it sounds like this is Pickle. I know who this is. But if you're saying, what's that?
Long time I haven't been in the room commenting.
Well, I mean, but the problem we're having here is the validation is not there when it comes to them saying that the effects of curve are even what they're claiming they are. Because if it's an effect of curve, let's just say, for example, we were to go with this story. I wouldn't, not me. I would question them on the fact that effects of curve and curve itself would be hand in hand. So if they're saying that that's the case, and we just even give them the argument, let's say for argument's sake, and we were to roll with that, how did they determine that the distance from the observer to where they start seeing the effects of curve are any way validated?
In all sorts of ways. One tell for life is like the thing you call vision or optics or coherent optics. They all occur through lenses that have curvature. That's for a reason, right? So That's the braid across all of human history. All lenses, including your eye lens, do this weird distortion of light and curvature.
Yeah, but you're not giving us the goods. We're looking for how the person determined that the effects of curvature to substantiate that it is curvature is actually validated by an observer standing at a distance away from the horizon to say that the place where they see the effects of a boat disappearing from the bottom up would be because due to the effects of curvature. So if the effects of curvature are what's at play, then we want to determine whether or not it is curvature, right? So how does the observer know from the distance to the horizon, if we can even know a distance to the horizon, that is happening at the geometric curve of the Earth, showing the effects only and not the curve? We're looking to determine whether or not it's curve. That's what's at stake right now is not that your eyes are little balls, but that you can see the effects of curvature due to the fact that the Earth is actually a curving surface. We're trying to determine that in a very practical way of measuring, right? So how did the observer know the distance from where they're standing to the horizon where they see the ship disappearing from the bottom up? That's what we're trying to get at right now. How can we determine that?
You'd have to measure drop over distance.
Well, hold on, Duncan. Let Pickle come through.
I feel like it's been easily arrived at through so many experiments across time. To deny it is to be disingenuous. So it's not.
Yeah, that's ambiguous. That's ambiguous. Let's go through it. Sure. Show us a method.
There's too many to Google and arrive at. And
ouch.
LLMs to get closer to. Yeah, see things move forward.
So the
move back.
concession is there is no way to determine the distance from the observer to the horizon, whether or not the effects of curvature are taking place. But just trust me, bro.
No, it's been done so much; it's exhaustively.
Really? Let's run through it. We do have to appeal to an audience. See, there's a Google audience, and those guys who are on YouTube and Rumble and all kinds of places. So
research, physicists,
So if you want
teachers
to type in with your Google fingers, right, and you want to go and see what's out there, we want to know. Put forward what you got.
School teacher disproves flat Earth. I can find tons of hits. See.
Yeah, is it the way we were
disproving?
Yeah, but see, I feel like that's a tangent. It's a tangential point. It's a tangential point to what I was asking for. We're talking about the effects of Earth curvature based on a bottom-up disappearance of a ship
it's been proven to be. Everybody accepts curvature, so it's highlighting how easily.
No, it's not about accepting it. No.
Belief.
It's not about accepting it. It's about proving it. We're asking for the determination of that effect. So how was it determined?
High school teacher disproves flat Earth. I would find them proving globe Earth in a video by the same methods I said are dated, long dated. That's why they just say to high school.
What is the method, Pickle? What is the method?
Let me Google it. This is the method.
Google it. Yeah. For all the Google people out there, you can Google it too along with Pickle. Let's see if you get the same results. The challenge is, has there been any method to validate whether or not the effects of curvature that we're seeing from an observation standpoint to the distance of the horizon has the Earth causing the bottom-up obstruction due to the effects of Earth curve and not being able to see curve itself, but only the effects? Let's test the claim, shall we?
Can I mention real quick that you could, if it's a cause and effect relationship, you can also prove it with science. If we're talking about cause effect relationship.
Let's not go down that route just yet. Let's figure out if he's got anything to put on the table. So, what did you say, Pickle?
Here's the 10 ways for your student. He believes it. Like basically, this is a running joke, like amongst like even a high school K to 12.
Well, yeah, it's a joke because it's a joke, Pickle, because it hasn't been proven. So yeah, it's a running joke. We all see that this can't be proven. It's funny that it can't be proven. So we're looking for the gold standard, right? We're looking for the knockdown win. It doesn't seem like there is one.
I'll be back later.
Yeah, please join us again and let's talk. We'll reconvene. Bye.
It seems that Pickle may have gotten himself in a pickle. Somebody had to say that. Go ahead, guys.
You've just been erased.
Yeah, he got in a pickle, all right. He didn't realize what he was actually getting himself into when he dove into that conversation, did he? He went ahead first into like a
horizon and Earth curve. Horizon is an optical effect. You can't have a distance to an optical effect. You can go out at sea 500 miles. You still haven't reached the horizon.
Ah, yes. Words of wisdom, right? See, he didn't know that when he was engaging. So, like, I was going to make the analogy of a guy diving headfirst into a swimming pool without any water. Yeah? That's what it was like. So we end up with a whole bunch of excuses and gobbledygook and, there's 10 ways that you can debunk a flat Earth and it's a running joke. But there's no evidence put forward. So what do we have here? Well, he left empty-handed for sure. But he was bankrupt in the fact that he was even going to produce anything that made any coherence to the argument, whether or not it's the effects of Earth's curvature or its actual curve that we can't see. So the excuse is, well, we don't see curve, but we see the effects of curve. Yeah, really? Because those two go hand in hand. So if you're saying that we can't see the curve, but it's the effects, prove it. I want you to prove that right there. And then we get what we got, which is him just bowing out and saying, okay, well, yeah, gotta go.
Well, that on top of the fact that the smooth brains need to figure out that horizon and Earth curve are two separate things.
Indeed. But we'll let them figure it out through the course of the conversation. We want them to actually realize that themselves. I guess the part of critical thinking, too, is not just for us to engage with that, but for them to discover that they can realize themselves, they can critically think like within the topic. But it usually happens that because of their pride, they don't want to let go and say that they'll just double down. That's what usually happens.
I want to split it and double down.
All right, Mr. Obnoxious, Rob Noxious is here.
Mr. Veritas, Mr. 24/7, Flat Earth panel. Good morning. I love you guys.
What's up? We're just we're covering a lot of these beliefs that people have within the globe inconsistent idea. So it's really inconsistent. There's nothing that you can determine anything that the Earth is a globe by any means. So we're just going through a number of things. We covered the sun. There's no way that they've told you and everybody else what the sun is, and for you to carry a knowledge claim as to that being the case. Let's see. Anything to deal with the sky? What you did? What?
Remember? I proved that for you guys.
No. You're no. We're talking about we're not going to your garage test and shows. You actually, unbeknownst to a lot of people that are listening right now, Rob Noxious did a great flat Earth proof, right? Because he was saying that the sun does not set on the flat Earth. But the crazy thing about his test in his garage is that the floor of his garage is flat. His table was flat. And so a lot of things that he was going on the surface of was flat. And then what he did was he got like a little ball. I don't know what it was like, whether it's aluminum foil or what it was. But he had a string.
That was the moon, bro. That was the moon.
Was it the moon? Well, it doesn't matter. It's a ball, right? So he had a string that he had tied to. And what he did was he had a camera that was facing, I guess, one part of his wall of his garage. And so the ball was moving like in the frame of the camera and away from the camera, so as to show that over distance that the sun would not set on a flat Earth. But guess what happened, ladies and gentlemen? There was a decrease in the angle at which the camera was viewing that ball move away from it, showing that with perspective that the sun would decrease in angular size and show that it would also look to move towards the horizon, the convergence point, which of course proves that the Earth being flat can have sunsets. It was amazing. Yeah, I have it. It's stored on my computer.
I appreciate that, man.
But you know what's even better is that he, being someone who believes that the Earth is a globe, brought this information forward. So we all have that, and thanks to Rob, we now have a garage test that shows that sunsets happen on a flat Earth. So thanks for that, Rob.
Yeah, see that, haters? Alpha likes me. You guys are welcome. I do what I can.
It's like unbeknownst to Rob, he didn't mean to, right? Because he wanted to show how it doesn't work on a flat Earth, and in actual fact, he's demonstrating live to everybody that it does work on a flat Earth. So I thought that was awesome. I gave him kudos. I gave him props. I even said, you know what? If we're going to give this flat Earth proof to anyone, we got to make sure we tell them it was by Rob Noxious. Yeah?
Yeah, if you put my name in front of it, it carries weight. You know what I'm saying? People believe it.
Well, it does carry weight, dude, because now we know that the person who will adamantly say that the Earth is a globe can show us flat Earth proof too. So even Globers can show flat Earth proof. Yeah? That's amazing. That's what we like.
Absolutely. Hell yeah, Alpha. Well, I do what I can, man. I try to play the in-between. I don't want to play either side. I just want to be the guy in the middle,
But see, at first, I think with Rob, he thought this was all just he came in a little hot, when he first got to get to know us. He was a little hot under the collar. He had a bee in his bonnet. He really wanted to show up like how this isn't true. He came late to the party, folks. And so he was still swinging around, his arms flailing, asking for our arguments for us to debate. And we're like, dudes, this happened, years ago. The fiery debates, the 5-on-5s where we used to go into like big old debates, and that stuff, it fizzled out because the bravado and the ego and the confidence, all of that went away when things like long distance observations, the mechanics of water were being shown. And so now the Globers are left empty handed and they really have nothing more but nothing left but the crying, so
that is kind of true.
Turn out the lights, the party's over.
That's why I take it upon myself to antagonize both sides in hopes that one day I will be able to be entertained in watching you guys debate. And I still have hopes for that. I will never give up hopes for that. And
you came ever so close one night, and I can tell you that much. Ever so close, dude. It was almost about to happen. the thing that you hope for. It's like Rob almost got his Christmas. He almost got his Christmas wish, dude. Gem Panda almost, like by even just a little, would have come in here and had. Yeah, it was so close.
Hey, he was in a text chat, right? I get credit for that, right, Alpha? He was in a text chat, right? There you go.
He was in a text chat. Now, listen, you got him riled up enough for him to come into the text chat, and at least that was something. If the takeaway was that you instigated it to the point where it was at least that much, that would give you he finally jumped into the. Outside of that, I don't think there has been any other interactions. Well, maybe some of the guys from that server, they came in here, but they're not doing it because you said anything. So they're just doing it because they wanted to come in here.
That's never been proven, but I would like to take credit for it. I mean.
Yeah, but they would probably say that's not true. Not because of it.
Just so everybody knows, even you, that I go in there, I go to that channel, and I give those guys more shit than you guys to try to get those guys to do something. So I actually don't even really bother you guys.
Well, the thing is, yeah, that's great, but their talking points are the same as you've heard, basically, and they're nothing more than assumptions and conjurings of imaginations, and it's only fun to hear if you want to reaffirm a belief system. If you want to stay blind or if you want to stay ignorant, then you stick with those guys, right? Because they're never going to help you critically think about the topic. They're only going to tell you, well, you must trust and believe that the methods we have show that the Earth is a globe. And then, of course, you wanting it to be a globe so badly, you're just going to listen to them and be like, oh, okay, I trust what you're saying. Yep.
Well, hopefully this year I'll be able to do my experiment on the water, and I'll be able to post that for you guys.
Yeah, we eagerly anticipate and await this experiment of yours.
I'm going to put it together. I got a couple boats going, hopefully July-ish. My buddy will have his boat ready and all that, and we'll go out there and do some stuff.
Are you going to show us? Is it a white swan you're going to show us? Is it going to be another white swan?
No, this is a 3-boat. I call it the 3-boaty problem.
It's a white swan then.
The 3-boat problem. What are you talking about, dude?
No, it's the 3-boaty problem with a Y.
Dude, what are you? What? Okay, tell me the premise. What's the premise?
The premise is I'm going to have 2 boats, 3 guys. You're going to have 1 guy on the beach, 1 guy in a boat on the horizon from the beach, and then another boat going to go out past that first boat. So for the first boat can see him on his horizon, but the guy on the beach can't see the second boat. So I'll be able to look at the first boat on the horizon and see him. That first boat will look at the second boat on his horizon and see him. We're going to shoot a laser from the beach to the boat, then to the other boat, and we're going to tie a string from the beach to the boat to the next boat. And we're going to measure all these inconsistencies and changes of elevation.
Are you all Globers?
No, I'm specifically using flat Earth people only. Only flat Earth people are able to do this. It's not funny.
Oh, that's some bullshit, Rob. That's some bullshit, dude. You ain't got no flat. What flat Earthers you gonna have over there with you, man?
All my friends are flat Earthers, dude. That's all I hang out with.
Dude, how do we know? Dude, for all we know, you're just telling them just say you're flat Earth, dude. Just say you're flat Earth. Don't act like we don't know who you are, bro. You're fucking see-through, man. And like we're not gonna just go. Oh, Rob's got some flat Earthers out there. Oh, and they're saying that the Earth is a globe. That's crazy. Really?
The best flat Earthers. I got real flat Earthers.
Dude, freaking Rob, man. Yeah, whatever you're doing, happy hunting.
It'll at least be entertaining, right?
Yeah, he wishes.
It's always entertaining when you're in here, man. You think you can actually kayak to Antarctica, bro? And it is like talking to you. Like it's amazing at the level of like what people will grasp at, like with these straws that you're trying to grasp at, just to make the Earth be a globe in some way, dude. It's like desperation times 10. Like I have yeah, dude. Like for you, it must be a globe, dude. Like imagine, do you think the outcome of your little test is going to show that the Earth is actually curving from the actual distance that you guys are away from the surface? Like, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
On a kayak.
You're gonna call me? I want my new name to be Robasosthenes.
I don't know, man. I just want you to just do what you do. Like, I mean, you like to instigate, and people want to. I guess the Globers. You got Gem Panda all riled up, man. He came in here, fucking stumbling over himself.
Oh yeah. Actually, you know what? I actually figured out how to move in here. You just you can't be you can be pushy. You just can't be too pushy. I don't really push the boundaries. I do enjoy coming in here. I know you guys can believe me. I don't get banned and muted all the time, so I don't really try to cause too much trouble no more. I get what you guys are about now.
That's good.
I don't push
That's good. At least you try to be funny. I mean, with your kayaking to Antarctica, I mean, at least you give it a shot. That's a try. So, thanks.
But that was not funny. That's real. That wasn't one. That wasn't.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah, I told you, Sonny. Dude, Rob is comedy gold, bro. Yeah, yeah. Imagine going through the South Seas in a kayak, Sonny.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Drake Passage. Sometimes it's not. You can cross
You'd be fish food, bro. Like honestly, like what?
Yeah, Rob Noxious, do you know they have 20 to 30 meter waves there? How long is your kayak?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with the Drake Passage. And Drake Passage.
No, you're not. Bro, you're not. This guy, I'm very familiar with it. The way you sailed that way. What's going on, man?
Just take some Dramamine before you go. You know, some anti-nausea medicine. You'll be okay.
Yeah, that's 60. That's 60. Hold on, that's 60 to 90 foot tall waves. Have you ever been in like 30 foot waves?
Actually, I have been in some big waves. Yeah, I'm from the Great Lakes.
In 30 foot waves?
No, not 30 foot. About 20 foot waves.
Yeah, I've sailed in 30 foot waves.
Well, there you go. You live. You're here.
Foot.
Well, you just said it. You were here, and it's not always rough. Drake Passage is not always rough.
This guy right here, man. I'm telling you, he can make. Rob, like honestly, I don't know why you don't have your own show, bro. Like you should do something. Anyways, I'd love to have you on. I'm about to do one too, and you already know about it. But I'd love to have you on, dude, and just like maybe talk to you. A lot of people don't know who you are, man. Maybe we can get you some recognition. How about that?
Whatever you want to do, Alpha, I'm down, man. As long as you can make some content and get people to have a nice day, a happy day, and maybe smile. That's all that really matters in life. You know what I'm saying? We can argue all we want all the day. Happy.
I mean, just a demonstration of like what level people will go to make that the Earth being a globe like any kind of like sensible reality. Like the types of links that people will go to. Kayaking to Antarctica. I mean, using your flat floor in your garage to show that the Earth shows that the sun can set on a flat Earth. Like everything, dude. It's like the culmination of like who you are, like bringing forward the arguments, like it showing the audience that wow, you know, is this what people do? That when they really dug into the idea that the Earth is a globe, like
yeah, like show the
shining example of that.
Yeah. Show the full retardation of the globe.
You have like it's like there's no fear anymore. You're just running around, just like dude, this is who I am. I'm Rob Noxious, and you're owning it too. That's weird. Like a lot of people wouldn't own that shit. You just take ownership of it. You're like, yep.
Oh fuck yeah, bro. Fuck it, you know. Mama said you're gonna be something. Be the best you can be. You know what I'm saying?
The lengths they'll go because of not having any curvature measurement. You know, you would think it'd be simple. It's more easy than kayaking to Antarctica would be. Go testing the Earth itself to prove that water's curving. I mean, that would be simple.
He's like, I'm very familiar with the Drake Passage. Like, I'm like, how, bro? I have no idea. That doesn't make any sense, bro.
Yeah. How did you familiarize yourself?
I mean,
just check Google Earth, bro. Google it.
Is that how you just Google Earth it? Like you know all about it now, huh? Holy crap!
Most of it.
Good. I want you to take elevation angles from a curved surface. You can't use flat charts. Anyway, your charts will be soaking wet anyway in a kayak, so have fun with that. But let's say you navigate with only using the globe. You can't use flat Earth measurements or distances. You can't use flat Earth elevation angles because they don't exist, right, Rob? So only navigate using the globe. So that would rule out parallel rulers. The compass would be out because the compass, you set your compass to linear distances on your legend, on your chart. Can't use that either. Flat charts are out. You only can use a globe.
Yeah, that's all we need.
Take your little inflatable globe out there. Somehow measure.
Yeah, I don't know the mindset. Sonny, I don't know the mindset of somebody who thinks they're going to do that. Like, don't you have to prepare for such an endeavor? Like, if you're going to go travel in that direction, let's just say he was to get it in like a wild hare and just get in a kayak and paddle his way over. Like, what do you think he would take with him in a tiny little kayak through the Drake Passage? What do you think going to Antarctica? Like, what do you think?
Well, I don't know if you guys are aware, but kayaks have come a long ways. They're not just plastic little. I mean, some of them are nice. They got finder.
You have a jet motor on it.
You're roboting. You guys, this is yeah. You're roboting.
He's behind a 30-foot wave. That's why we can't hear him. We're not getting signal.
You're roboting.
Yeah, you heard that. That's a minor wave.
Sorry, guys. When I go down in these swells, I lose connection when I go down in these swells.
Yeah. And you guys didn't see his design for his. You didn't see the design for his kayak. He's going to have two kayaks attached to the middle kayak, and there'll be supplies in the two side kayaks, and he'll be fine.
It doesn't matter. You still fell off the edge.
Hey, I've watched Moana. You know what I'm saying? I can do it.
Yeah, you are not a wayfinder. Let's just say that much.
That's funny. Make sure you have some water.
Polynesians for flat earthers.
Jet engines. I have some jet motors on that boat.
Bro, people die in rivers in kayaks. You think you're going to take on the most dangerous section of ocean in the world?
Absolutely. Shit, why not? I'm from Detroit, bro. We don't get scared.
Yeah, you're
people
on
he don't get scared. You know what? He's funny. Hold on a minute, Sonny. Like, when you went through. Sonny, so when you were a sailor, like what places did you travel to that were dangerous? Like what oceans?
Okay, I'll tell you a couple of them. Down in Mexico, where Mexico like is off the shore of I think it's Oaxaca, but where Mexico gets really narrow and near the end of Mexico, before you get to Guatemala, El Salvador, places like that, it gets really thin, and the weather can change like instantly and start blowing across land from the east. So you basically get winds from the Atlantic flowing over a narrow strip of land, and this place called Tehuantepec Bay in Mexico, they said in 30 or 40 minutes, less than an hour basically, the waves can approach 30 meters. That's 90 feet.
What is it like? What is it like? What is it like for a person to be going through those type of waters? Like, what do you think that you have your level of confidence to navigate and survive through that? Diminishes when you start traveling through something like that?
Yeah. So here's the trouble. So here's the trouble with Tehuantepec. You have another one. Hold on. You have another one off of Costa Rica called Papagayo. So you have two different types of storms. Tehuantepecker, because that'll peck you. So they call it Tehuantepecker. So you either have to go offshore, like 50 to 100 miles offshore, or you have to skirt the shore and go inland, right, like outside of the breakers, as fast as you can to get past that area. So we skirted close to shore. Now that can be really dangerous because if you're close to shore, just outside the breakers, then all of a sudden you get 90-foot waves. You're screwed. So we got past that.
Yeah, but one thing you're not mentioning about those 90-foot waves is there's about a 20-second break in between each one, so they might be 90 feet.
You're not even speaking. That's not like what a human would. Dude, like here's what I was trying to highlight too is the actual fear of men when they see something like that. Like I'm pretty sure Sonny was white knuckling it. Like think about it, dude. 90-foot waves. That shit there. That's death, dude. That's death coming for you. Like, and you're thinking about a kayak, bro. We're talking about a freaking military ship, bro.
So here, I was on a 50-foot pitch, a sailboat, a 2-masted sailboat when I was sailing down there. So when we got off the coast of Costa Rica, we were 100 miles offshore, and we ran into squalls for 3 days. We had 15 to 30-foot waves, green water breaking over the top of the boat I was on. Green water. You had to be harnessed in, or you get washed off.
On top of the water.
I was almost done. So you get washed off if you're not harnessed on. So I had green water breaking over the freaking boat. You had to go to the foredeck and take down sails in that kind of weather with your harness on.
Well, those are dangerous though, dude. But that's different, man. Kayaks are different. They sit different in the water. They take waves differently. They're made for that. They're
going to be rolled over. If the waves start breaking, 15-foot waves start breaking, you're going to roll over and over again. You're going to be rolling over and over.
No, I would just go parallel to the waves, dude.
You just go parallel to the waves, dude. You're not going to be staying upright and breaking 10, 20-foot waves. You're not going to stay upright.
No, I can, man. I can, dude. I told you, I'm a kayaker, dude.
You don't know anything about that kind of power.
I'm a kayaker.
You've never fucking experienced that kind of power before.
I've been in white water. You ever been to the Gully?
Oh my God, I'm not talking about white water on a river, bro.
It's way worse than the Drake Passage. That's like a level 5 rapid.
This guy, listen to him.
You have no idea what you're in for. You're
whitewater rapids are worse than 50-foot swells on the sea. Okay, you're not even listening to what Sonny is saying. Oh my God!
I told you. No, listen. The time between waves is not the same on the ocean. You got a lot of time between. Okay, we're not 90 foot every second.
Okay, let's get some videos.
Hold on, Dory, just 2 seconds. I'm behind you, bud. Send me your link to your GoFundMe page. I'll send you to the ice wall in your kayak.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Dude,
we'll get some videos. We'll get some videos of like maybe
every dollar helps. I need all the money for gas I can get.
Hold on. We'll get some videos of like maybe a 50 or 60-foot yacht going through 20-foot breaking waves out in the ocean. I'll get some videos for you and see what that looks like.
By the way, this guy's endorsing. Yeah, this guy's endorsing the Earth as a globe. So yeah, he's a part of your side, Globers. So hopefully that you're listening to him right now. Yeah, he's one of you guys.
Right there, flat man. He just posted a picture. What are you doing? That's me right there. I'm on my way, also Veritas. You can't stop me. I'm just taking you like a champ.
Dude, like, whatever, man. Like, how do you think you're going to even navigate using a kayak, bro? That's not even...
I'll use the cars, man. I'll look to Polaris.
Look to Polaris. Going to Antarctica?
Why not?
Okay.
So now you're doing it at night? Oh boy.
Well, you know?
Jackson, you were breaking up. What'd you say?
I wasn't even saying nothing.
Well, we got Mr. Rob Noxious is going to make this voyage to Antarctica in his kayak. Now, one of the things he's been saying is he knows how to kayak.
Alpha Veritas, who do you think's the better glober, me or Rob?
What'd you say? What was that?
Oh, really.
Who's the better glober, me or Rob?
I don't think I've heard you as much, Jackson. What's your evidence? Hold on, Rob. What's your evidence that the Earth is a rotating sphere?
I'm waiting for Rob to provide me some results.
No, Rob is just on about his kayaking mission to Antarctica. Like he doesn't really have much than that. But what do you got?
He's going to send me some results where I can base my debate.
Results? What do you? So you don't have an argument for the Earth being a globe? Is that true?
Every time I debate it, you just shoot me down and playing. So,
dude, what is going on?
Oh man, he's crying, dude. Be easy with him.
I don't know. I don't know why. Why?
It's all right, buddy. They don't know they're being mean, dude. That's okay, man.
Oh God. All right. Break it up. Break it up.
His feelings and shit, bro. Give the kid.
That's enough of that.
Bro.
Give me an ice cream.
No, he needs a bowl of truth, man. Which is the Earth is not a globe. How about that?
Globe ice cream.
And the waters that Rob is going to be navigating his kayak on are flat, all the way to Antarctica. Yeah.
How big did you say the waves get?
That doesn't matter. He's not going to do what he says he's going to do.
I'm sure he'd somehow die before you get there.
Well, I mean, he thinks he's going to lean all his confidence on his kayaking skills.
What if he's causing a storm?
Kayaks can take a beating. It's the best vessel to get in the water.
All right.
They're unsinkable.
You are weird.
What if you get into a storm and it washes it away? And you see it floating away in the distance.
Anyway, but that's about all the globe evidence we got in here.
Alpha, I got a question. What if I come back with a penguin? Will I bring a penguin back with me?
You won't even, dude. You're daydreaming. Let's put it that way.
Exactly. You know, if I come back with a penguin, there's gonna be some questions to be asked and answered. You know what I'm saying?
You're not even gonna take the trip, let alone make it there. Let alone bring a penguin back. Come on, bro.
I can't hear your shame, buddy.
You're roboting, bro. Roboting.
Oh. What's going on here? No, I'm good. Check. Hold on, better.
A little bit, yeah.
What's up? No,
hey, what's going on? You're back to roboting, Rob. Back to roboting.
I don't know what the fuck's wrong on my mic.
Now it's clear.
All right. So in the wintertime, I'm going to wait till the lake freezes over. I'm going to rent some penguins. I'm going to get a kayak. I'm going to put the kayak in the water, put the penguins on the edge, and boom, I'm in Antarctica.
So in other words, lie? And you told us about your lie?
Well,
so you got to deceive to prove your point that the Earth is a globe. Is that what you're saying, Rob?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, then see, that seems to be the theme of most globers, right? You got to deceive in order for them to realize.
Yeah. Well, if you can't beat them,
damn, bro.
Know.
Really? Be another deceiver?
Yeah.
Not really a good look for the globe this morning, Rob.
No, you're right. Drastic times call for drastic measures.
That's what they usually do, right?
Yeah.
When they run out of things to say, they go straight to deception.
Do you guys hear Will Duffy's doing another final experiment, didn't you? You guys hear about that yet?
For why, dude? Like, he already admitted that sun didn't prove that the Earth is a globe. He said that.
I know, and he heard you guys talking about that, and that's one of the things he's very upset about that because you guys found out the truth. Now the TFE2 flirts in space is going to be the next one. He's going to send flirt to space. It'll be real.
So did you
hear
what that he will make another final experiment? So 2 final experiments one after the other, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, this part 2 is going to be. Hey, hold on. Part 2 is going to be no. It's going to caveat to say no this time for real.
Yeah,
So
the final.
That's what it's going to say on the title.
So if this one is the final experiment, that one that they claim to be the final experiment where they went to Antarctica is not the final experiment.
Well, no, this is like a sequel.
Yeah, Will Duffy's just a rich dummy, dude. He's a running joke. Like, nobody takes him seriously. There's nothing he's saying that's going to do anything. If he was going to do anything, then he would be on the ground trying to see if there's any measurements he can take. He's not doing any of that, dude. This is all theatrics. It's all just globe nonsense, bro.
Yeah. His whole idea, he's going to take flat earthers to space. It's like, if you haven't learned one thing, it's that we're not a bunch of followers. Like, how many people are like, oh, Earth's a globe because Jared said so? How many people did that? Literally no one.
Oh, excuse me.
Nobody.
Like the appeal to authority tact, like, oh, I'm going to bring a bunch of flat earthers, and then if they say it's true, then everybody else is just going to follow them. Like, no.
I like that Jaren guy. I think that Jaren guy is all right.
Dude. We already don't follow the appeal to authority shit. Like, why would you double down on it?
But what if you were the authority? What if you were on the ship going to space? Then what?
The only person on the authority of is me.
Exactly. That's why I asked you. What if it was you that went on the trip?
I'm not going to deny objective reality, dude.
That's fair enough. Good answer.
That's the other thing, too.
See some people up there?
Yeah, that's the other thing, too. How much money do you think he's going to shell out to actually do this other thing? Because it's all theatrics. At the end of it, it's going to be like, can you provide evidence that the Earth is a globe from whatever you saw up there? Yeah?
Well, he's got Amazon to help him. Amazon's going to pay for most of the stuff, the flight and the green screen and the room and all that. They're going to pay for all that.
The green screen.
I mean, no, I'm sorry, not the green.
Yeah, that's what you said.
No, I didn't say that. Run it back. You didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you fucking did, dude.
Sorry.
You are like a plethora of...
Bro, everything Glovers do are projection. Right? They go, well, if you went to space and you saw the Earth as a ball, would you deny it? They literally see a...
You are like... Yeah, that's what you said.
Sorry.
That's the other thing, too.
See some people up there?
Yeah, that's the other thing, too. How much money do you think he's going to shell out to actually do this other thing? Because it's all theatrics. At the end of it, it's going to be like, can you provide evidence that the Earth is a globe from whatever you saw up there? Yeah?
Well, he's got Amazon to help him. Amazon's going to pay for most of the stuff, the flight and the green screen and the room and all that. They're going to pay for all that.
The green screen.
I mean, no, I'm sorry, not the green.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Sorry. No, I didn't say that. Run it back. You didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you fucking did, dude.
Sorry.
You are like a plethora of...
Bro, everything Glovers do are projection. Right? They go, well, if you went to space...
Because it's all theatrics. At the end of it, it's going to be like, can you provide evidence that the Earth is a globe from whatever you saw up there? Yeah?
Well, he's got Amazon to help him. Amazon's going to pay for most of the stuff, the flight and the green screen and the room and all that. They're going to pay for all that.
The green screen.
I mean, no, I'm sorry, not the green.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Sorry. No, I didn't say that. Run it back. You didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you fucking did, dude.
Sorry.
You are like a plethora of...
Bro, everything Glovers do are projection. Right? They go, well, if you went to space and you saw the Earth as a ball, would you deny it? They literally see a flat Earth every day and deny it. Everything is a projection from Glovers.
Well, we just want to be like everything else is a projection. Like the sun's a projection, all that stuff, you know? We just want to be like everybody else.
Like your green screen that you're going to need, Rob, that you said just a while ago?
Yeah, we're gonna need a big one. It's going to have to be a big screen. We have to be able to really get everything all encompassing. Man, I want to go get a fucking penguin and bring it back. Like, where the fuck did I get this thing from?
The other thing, I heard you come up with, like, why the Glovers, whenever they, like, oh, you could do this experiment to prove the Earth is flat, it's always cockamamie and would never prove anything. It's like they like imagine an experiment and they intentionally construct it so that it can't prove anything.
I know, it's crazy, ain't it? It's like they're fucking with you, you know?
No, it's like you guys don't want to know.
I know.
You literally don't want to know.
No, I hear you, man. It's crazy. No, there'll be one thing. If I hang around enough here.
Bro, Rob, what are two boats and some string gonna prove?
I'm sorry, brother. What'd you say? What are two boats? What?
What are two boats and some string gonna prove? Yeah, exactly.
That's a good question. That's a good question. What if I could prove to you that water does curve? Would that be not a deal breaker, I mean, but would that be like interesting?
Dude, don't even bring up raindrops. Don't even be a dunce.
I know. I can't bring up the raindrop. I know. That's skirt water, but that's not. It's not skirt water. I got you. Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about large bodies of water. Rest, not just a raindrop. I got you. I know.
Yeah, we're not worried about electrostatic surface tension. Okay.
Ooh,
that doesn't
I
apply
like that
on
word.
large bodies of water.
That's a good word, buddy.
Well, why do you think water forms droplets?
Gravity.
But did you really say that?
I said it, bro. Gravity. Hey, man.
It's not. It's electrostatic surface tension. All the water molecules try to arrange themselves so they neutralize the charge on the surface. And if it's only a small amount of water, it'll form it'll form a sphere. They're sphere-like.
Yeah, but why though?
Electrostatic surface tension of the water molecules.
But why would electrostatic surface tension? Yeah, I understand that. But why would electrostatic?
Not electrically neutral.
No, I understand that, but you didn't.
Whoa, dude! There's a little excess charge, right?
Yeah.
So it has neighbor water molecules, and they're all trying to reach electrostatic equilibrium.
Yep. But why would that force it to be a sphere? Why not be some other shape?
Well, because it's going to compress. So it's, think about it like this.
But why would it compress equally on all sides to make a sphere?
Because there's shit in the middle. It's being squeezed from the outside, dude.
Yeah, exactly like gravity does. Squeeze it from the outside.
No, it's not like gravity because it's not going toward the center. It's on the surface.
If it's not gravity, then why does the water drop fall?
Just told you. It's more. Think of it as an elastic membrane, like a balloon. Why does a balloon form a sphere? Because there's a lateral force, right? Squeezing it all together. And it can't collapse because there's air in the center, right? It's the same thing. The water molecules on the outside are squeezing it together, but it can't collapse because there's water on the inside.
Well, now we're back to gravity and constant pressure.
No, it has nothing to do with gravity, dude.
Oh.
Where are you getting gravity out of this?
Gravity.
Gravitas? Oh, what if his name was Alpha Gravitas? Oh, he left. Where'd he go, dude? What the hell? No, one day I'll think of something to convince you guys. I don't know what it is, but if I think long enough, I'm pretty good at thinking of things. So I'll figure something out. Well, guys, it was nice talking to you. I'll probably stop by later. I'm going to go bother some other people. Later, dudes.
Yeah, think harder. Good luck with your kayak.
Fellow flat earthers. I'm here to ask a question, if you guys don't mind. Not here to prove anything, I just want to ask questions. I want to learn more about your model of the Earth. Anybody?
Go ahead, ask away.
Okay. How do you guys explain gravity? Like, I don't understand like your model of gravity, or how like we fall down, I guess. What's the scientific thesis behind it? I don't believe in anything. I don't want to prove you guys wrong, but I'm just asking.
Yeah. When people say gravity, they most of the time they don't know what it is. It hasn't been defined. It hasn't been proven. There is not any scientific evidence of gravity. It's basically a thought experiment. So there's no independent variable that the experimenter could be manipulating. So there's no cause and effect. So what you're seeing when you see things go down, that's just the effect of buoyancy density. Yeah. So most things not all things go down anyway.
Really interesting. I've also seen like in the globe like model, it explains a lot of things like how magma evolves from the ground and things like that. How does the flat Earth like explain that model?
Wait a minute. You said the globe Earth explains what?
Explains like I don't know about the proof. I haven't looked into it, but it says like magma comes from something in the upper mantle, which is a liquid like level, something like that, and from that comes out magma in the form of volcanoes or something like that. So that's how the globe explains it. I'm wondering, how does the flat Earth how does the flat model explain that?
For one thing, there is no flat model. Also, there is no globe model. So the globe tries to explain how magma, they're claiming that there's a magnetic molten core. How do they know that there's a magnetic molten core?
I heard about things. I heard about like special machines that send radio waves through the ground that can penetrate the ground, and it can like send back feedback that can show you like the state of matter in that specific place. But that's what I heard. I'm not really sure if it's
okay. So we know the furthest down anyone has ever drilled is 7.6 miles. So you're saying radio waves. So how far do these so-called radio waves go into the Earth?
I don't know, but they claim it's pretty deep. So I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
Okay. That's all fine. They can say whatever they want, but all we have to do is go ahead and measure the surface over water and see if it's curving at the rate that's prescribed by the globe. So we've done that. So we have observations from 10 to 30 miles horizons. That would make Earth's radius 2 million miles in diameter. It's supposed to be 8,000 miles in diameter. So you, every day, if you live near the water, you can see things that are so far away over the flat plane that would make Earth's radius or diameter go twice as far as the moon is supposed to be. So you have to ask yourself, what is your margin for error in the size of the globe? Is it okay that it's 2 million miles in diameter versus 8,000 miles? Is that okay?
But the question was like,
that's a question. Hold on, that's a question to you. Is that okay that the Earth, that you see observations over water that would make Earth's radius 2 million miles? Is that okay? It's supposed to be 8,000 miles. Is that okay with you? Yes or no?
Maybe there was a problem with your measurement.
I know what you're going to say. Maybe there's a problem. There's an error in the math we're using. Is that what you're about to say?
I haven't seen the math that the flat earthers use, so I can't make claims.
Okay, so the thing is, they have to get straight. It's not our math. It's the globe Earth. It's the size that they told us. They told us the Earth has 3,959 mile radius. So that requires a certain drop over distance on the surface, which is basically 8 inches with the mile squared.
Yeah.
So if you have a 5 mile distance, you multiply that by 5. So 5 times 5 square, that's the mile squared. 5 times 5 is 25. Times 8 inches, that's 800 inches. Divided by 12 is 16, nearly 17 feet. So 17 feet of vertical drop over 5 mile distance. And as you go further, it would multiply. So in 10 miles, that's 66 feet. In 30 miles, it's 480 feet of vertical drop below your line of sight. So I can see islands off of California 30 miles away with oil rigs going all the way up, almost all the way up to the island. The oil rigs going out to 10 miles, and then the island being further out, higher up in my view, in my visual range, at 30 miles. So there's no 486 feet of drop in that 30-mile observation. 30-mile distance would make the radius like over 1 million miles.
Mm-hmm. But I said I don't really understand this math. I didn't come here to discuss this math. I came here to ask about the magma. Like, how can you guys explain where the magma comes from? If there's no mantle,
the Earth is flat. We measure it to be flat. So there's magma. There's something called molten rock or lava that comes from underground. We don't know all the processes that are happening underground. We've only dug down 7.6 miles. That's as far as they got down. And all their predictions of digging that far down were wrong.
Well,
they thought it would get hotter. It got cooler.
Did you make a claim about magma, Sonny?
I didn't make a claim about magma.
So a complete stranger is going to come in and ask you to explain something you've never made a claim for and ask you to explain it. No.
Another thing I would not mind understanding how it works on a globe is that when I got the Avanti West Coast from Manchester to London earlier this week, 200 miles, how did they navigate or account for 25,000 feet of curvature when laying down the railway tracks? Quite the impressive feat, to be honest.
Are you talking about the railway tracks in Australia?
No, the Avanti West Coast from Manchester, England to London, England. 200 miles of railway.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't actually that long of a stretch of railway compared to what you've got going on in other countries, but I live on a small little island and that's what we've got.
Mm-hmm.
If you use spherical trigonometry, you still get a mile rather than the 25,000 feet.
Yeah. Spherical trigonometry doesn't exist.